So this is my Google Classroom. We are doing a unit on natural disasters. So my introduction is my Google Slides, which has all of resources, videos, assessments for students to go through at their own pace. So the first section is an introduction to natural disasters, what they are, and then it's broken up into specific parts. So tsunamis are what we're going to be looking at, and I have an Edpuzzle. I found a really good video and I thought that it covered a lot, so I put an Edpuzzle in for that. Just right here. And then I have some science experiments they can do at home or in the classroom. Then volcanoes, I did a Flipgrid, which is a short video response. And I put some questions on there for them to respond to, such as, are there different types? How are volcanoes formed? And then I made an education video on plate tectonics and the 3 different types of volcanoes. So I have questions about that for the Flipgrid. I did another science experiment. Then hurricanes, same thing, just a whole bunch of resources. I did a quiz it for them to look at, and then I also did a another education video about the scale for hurricanes and how we categorize them. And then there's another experiment. So then after they're done with that, they would go back to Google Classroom and they would be told what their challenge is. So they would need to create an escape route and information about it with a small group, and they would comment to see which ones they were interested in. So this way I can break them into small groups and hopefully they'll all get their first choices. So after they're in their small groups, I have my hyperdocs for each one, so we'll look at hurricanes, and they're all set up the same way. So for hurricanes, I have your mission, and then the first thing that they have to do is create their emergency kit. I have an article that talks about what are some things that people usually have for an emergency kit for specifically hurricanes. And then I put some of the damages that Hurricane Katrina so that they can tailor their list. They're making an individual list, but then they have to come together to make a collective list of 15 items that they would put on this Excel sheet. So I use Google Docs slides, sheets. Then they have to practice with my maps, kind of what we did in our classroom, creating a vacation spot. And then they would do a specific route. So I have them starting at New Orleans, and they have a choice of which place they would like to go to, but they have to create at least 2 routes. So each route will be created, and they would add information about tsunamis, about hurricanes, hurricanes along the way, while also putting in their emergency kit information as well. So after that, they will then look at the hurricane tractor, which shows how the hurricane actually went through all of those places, and they would assess their route. Did they make a route where the hurricane's going to go through? Are they safe, or do they need to change it and evaluate it? So kind of some time to reflect it on themselves as a group. So after they're done, they would have to either do a screencast-o-matic, or they could do a green screen. So I have some tutorials here, and for uploading onto YouTube, they would have me help them because we would have a classroom YouTube account, so we don't have to deal with any of those. And then they would share the active links here. Then I have the whole class going through watching them and giving back feedback, just so that students can, tell other students what they liked about theirs, what they would add into theirs if they had the chance, and then they would be able to go back and revise their escape route. And that's pretty much the unit, and they would be able to make changes and then broadcast it again.